Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy DLloyd, and we are about to go into our bye week, which means I will go over our recruiting in this episode. This is also a live commentary. We'll also take a look at the standings, the stats, and I also need some feedback from some possible roster moves that I'm thinking about doing. So first thing is first, we're just coming off of our loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 40-34. We did have a major injury, so we're going to go ahead and cross our fingers and hope that Jeffrey Toller isn't out for too long. And it looks like he's going to be out for a total of 5 weeks with that abdominal tear. So that is definitely going to impact our defense a little bit. Maybe we'll go ahead and look at free agency, see if there's another middle linebacker we can pick up for that meantime, because that's a pretty huge loss. Jeffrey Toller, by far one of our best defensive players. And then we'll go ahead and look at the rest of the stuff. So we'll go ahead, advance the week here, and then come up at the bye week where we can take a look at accurate stats, standings, all of that good stuff. I am in the offline league. That's why we have to go ahead and actually watch the simulation of this week. But anyway, taking a look at everything that's going on, let's look at the standings first. Hopefully we didn't drop. We're still first place in the AFC North. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 4-2. Everybody else is 3-3. So still leading. Only lost 2 games. We're not in a terrible position, but we have lost 2 of our last 3. And you know, things are kind of looking downward, so we need to try to bounce back, and hopefully we can get back in these winning categories and start going on a nice little win streak. You see the Jacksonville Jaguars, they are 5-1. Philly's 5-1. A couple of 2-loss teams. You got Arizona, you have us, you have Pittsburgh, the Cowboys, and then the Chargers are leading off. The 3-loss teams, that's who I think we're playing after our bye week. We'll take a look at that in a second, see who we're playing next. Yes, we are playing the San Diego Chargers after this bye week. If you haven't seen all of the games so far, this is pretty much exactly where we're at. So we started off winning our first 4 games, then we lost to Cincinnati, came back and won against the Steelers, then we lost against Tampa Bay. So we have the bye. We play against San Diego, who's pretty much a running team, and you'll see the stats later. We just got to try to stop the run. That's how we'll beat San Diego. That's why we definitely need another middle linebacker. Come back on Monday night, play against the Kansas City Chiefs. Then we play against the Cleveland Browns, Jacksonville, who's pretty good, the Broncos, who's pretty good this year, and the Steelers. So a nice little stretch right there. Even I will say Carolina put up there just because Cam Newton is difficult for me, at least, to defend in this game. And then we end up off against Cincinnati and the New England Patriots. So a pretty tough schedule to end out the season, so we definitely need to be on our P's and Q's and definitely try to get everything right. Taking a look at the stats so far for this season, very up and down with just our team in general. But we'll look at our team stats first. You see we are number 1 in terms of offensive yards, 2,800 yards offensively. You see the Broncos are second with 2,700 yards, so a good 100, about 30 yards ahead of the second top team. When it comes to passing yards, we are number 1 in that also. Rushing yards, we should be pretty high. You see the Panthers are number 1, obviously, but we're still look like we're kind of middle of the road. So middle of the road when it comes to rushing yards. Points per game, averaging 32. That should be up there. Jacksonville is number 1. We are number 3. Jacksonville is actually averaging 34 points a game. That's pretty good. Looking at passing touchdowns, we should be up there. We are number 1 with 22 passing touchdowns this season. Rushing touchdowns, we should be very low. Pittsburgh is number 1 at 13. We are probably going to go down the line. I think we had 5. So rushing touchdowns, not a lot of them. And we are definitely pretty low here at 5, towards the bottom when it comes to that. And when it comes to first downs gained, we should be probably middle of the road with that as well. You see us at 112 first downs gained. Looking at defensive stats, our defense has probably been one of our weakest side of the football so far. Just going down here, I thought we had a good defense coming in. That might be the scheme, might be what I'm doing, but we are pretty middle of the pack. And I thought we had a very solid defense coming in. Passing yards allowed, we should be one of the worst. Looks like we're kind of middle of the road. I thought we'd be one of the worst, but we're kind of middle of the road when it comes to passing yards allowed. Rushing yards allowed so far, I don't even know where we'll be at so far. Let's go from the worst teams and work our way down. And we're actually not that bad when it comes to rushing yards allowed. Actually one of the best teams in the league when it comes to rushing yards allowed. Points allowed, probably not the best. The Vikings gave up 214 already, so we're definitely not that bad when it comes to our points allowed. Excuse me. I don't even know if I passed. I think I passed the Ravens. I think it could have passed us. but looks like we probably might be middle of the road, maybe. He allowed 188 points, so we did allow a lot of points. Actually, one of the worst defenses when it comes to that. Quarterback sacks should be decent as well. 19 sacks so far. 2 fumble recoveries, which probably not going to be that good. And the interceptions, we got 6 so far, and that should also put us around the middle of the pack. So that is our team stats. We'll go ahead and look at our individual player stats, and then we'll look at free agency, all that good stuff. So Chris Wilbur, 22 touchdowns, 12 interceptions on the year. He had a couple of bad games. I think one game where he threw 5 interceptions maybe. So that definitely raised up our total. But he has had a couple of solid games after that. 116 quarterback rating. Derrick Henry, 547 rushing yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. Pretty decent. Hasn't had one of those crazy games, but he hasn't had a terrible game for us either. So I definitely kind of like what I'm getting out of Derrick Henry. I wasn't quite sure what I would be getting out of him early, but Braxton Miller is leading us with 33 receptions. He is definitely somebody we're going to be talking about a little bit later. But we have Matt Teague at 28 receptions. We have Jarvis Landry at 25 receptions. So both of these guys are on pace to go over 50 receptions on the year. But we have to talk about what we want to do with our receivers in general. Matt Teague at 7 touchdowns. Jarvis Landry at 4. Braxton Miller is at 4. But you see Brashard Perriman, only 5 receptions, but 245 yards, 3 touchdowns. That is something we have to talk about between him and Braxton Miller. As for our linemen, not a lot of sacks allowed. So Mo allowed 5 sacks, our most sacks that we got out of any player so far. But it's still not that bad, I guess, from our linemen. I haven't really complained too much about pressure. So our offensive line been decent. We have had a lot of penalties that have hurt us, but they've been decent in terms of the actual performance. As for tackles, Eric Weddle is leading us. Looks like 47 total tackles. Jeffrey Toller, who is now out, he had 45. That's what I said. He's pretty much a huge loss because we lost two sacks, 45 tackles. That is pretty big. CJ Mosley still leading us with 42 tackles. Not leading us, but he's doing his thing. 13 tackles for a loss, which should be number 1. In terms of sacks, our sack leader is Von Miller with 4.5 sacks so far. Lawrence Guy with 3.5. Melvin Shepard, our rookie, he has 3 sacks. And then Jeffrey Toller with 2. Our interceptions leader, we haven't had a lot. CJ Mosley actually leading us with 2 picks. Jimmy Smith has 2. Sua Cravens 1. Eric Weddle 1. And then our rookie, I don't even know where Bakari Clemens is. No interceptions so far. He does have a sack on the cornerback blitz. 27 tackles. But hasn't really lived up to that hype of being a top draft pick that we actually brought him in for. So that is something that we definitely wish we could get a little bit more out of Bakari. He is a rookie, so that could definitely change as well. Next thing I want to do is definitely look at other middle linebackers. I almost drew a blank there. We need another middle linebacker because I'm not comfortable going out there with Campbell. So he is our backup just because not that expensive and didn't want to splurge on another middle linebacker. But we might want to see who else is out there. Maybe look at the trade block as well. Or we might have to roll with him because the top guy is Antoine Williams. I don't think there's anybody here that really is tempting me to just sign him right away. Nobody that makes me feel like he could kind of come in and be the guy. So we might look at this trade block, see who's out there. If not, we might have to roll with Campbell and hope he can just hold it down. It is 5 weeks, but the way we kind of been playing, especially on defense, this is a huge 5-week run that we're going to be going on. So Jay Cutler is available. That is hilarious. But we'll look at other middle linebackers. Maybe David Harris. Lawrence Timmons is there. That might not be bad. Just a middle linebacker, just to plug and play. Joshua Perry, Jake Ryan, Lauren Knight. When you start getting these guys, at this point, maybe not a huge upgrade. So if you guys like any of these middle linebackers that we could possibly go after, let me know in the comment section below. I'm definitely not going to advance this week until I get some feedback on a couple of things anyway. So that's what we're looking at for middle linebackers. But one of the main things I want to talk about is our wide receiver depth right now. So as of right now, I do have Braxton Miller as our slot receiver. He is leading us in receptions, but we have been getting very good production out of Brashard Perriman. Now, I had success in the past with Brashard Perriman playing as the number 2 receiver and pretty much just going deep in all those deep routes. He is a beast at because of his speed. 95 speed. Braxton Miller is sitting there with a 91 speed. So it is a little bit of a difference right there But besides that, I like Braxton Miller's reliability a little bit more, a little bit of a better catcher than Brashard Perriman. That is why I put Braxton Miller up there. I sacrificed the speed for a little bit of the reliability. You see, Braxton Miller is a 76 compared to Brashard Perriman 75 overall, but very close in just about everything. They have the exact same acceleration. Agility is actually higher for Braxton Miller. Catching higher for Braxton Miller. Catching traffic higher. Spectacular catch higher for Brashard Perriman. Route running just about the same, a little bit better for Brashard Perriman. Release a little bit better from Perriman. Jumping about the same. Carrying, I'm not too much worried about that, but it is better with Perriman. Elusiveness, better with Braxton Miller. And you've seen him breaking and shifting, not breaking a lot of tackles, but that spin move he has, very effective. Juke moves about the same. Spin move, like I said, from Braxton Miller is higher. And I don't know who to go with between these two, so definitely let me know in the comment section below, who do you guys want to see at our number 3 receiver. I've been hearing a lot of Brashard Perriman in the comment section below, so that's definitely why I want to open this up, is between these two. Let me know in the comment section below, who do you want to see out of these two guys. And just quickly, before we get out of this video, I don't want to make this too long. We're already at about 11 minutes. So looking at the possible draft picks for this upcoming year, not a lot of draft stories that kind of help me out when it comes to finding those top guys. You see right here, we do have a new one this week. Look like Mendenhall is out indefinitely with a ankle injury. But besides that, really nobody that's kind of standing out in these draft stories. Nobody's making me think like, hey, I got to go get this guy right now. So I'll show you guys the players I've scouted so far, and you let me know if any of these guys kind of stand out in your opinion that I should go ahead and throw on our watch list. So taking a look at who I've already scouted, you will see I kind of looked at some running backs. I didn't know how I was going to like Derrick Henry early on. I think I might actually stick with that. But everybody else kind of just been throwing picks out there, or players out there, scouting, see what we could get, and pretty much kind of go off of best available maybe. I'm looking at this Miles Felix guy who's a left tackle. He has a B+ pass block, B- run and impact block, 6'6", 305 pounds. But we definitely want to see what he comes back with the bench press at the combine, because that is absolutely huge, especially for linemen. I definitely looked at corners. Nobody really impressed me that way. This Latevin Payne, I believe his name is, middle linebacker. I don't think we need another one, but his stats did intrigue me a little bit. He's a prototype linebacker as well. Other players that could have possibly, Vincent Espinoza, tight end, I think we're good, but he's 6'6", 249. Looks like he has solid stats, nothing spectacular, but definitely looks solid all the way around. Looked at receivers. Obviously, nobody's really impressed me there. And I don't really think there's a lot of huge guys here that I'm looking at. This is a pretty decent running back, but I think I'm kind of content with Derrick Henry at this point. But you do see Overton looks like a big-time power back as well. But I think I'm good to go with what I have so far at running back. I did look at Crowder because he might be a little bit more elusive. But like I said, running back, I think I might be okay. Corners definitely disappointed me so far. Pretty much, you see me, I recruited a lot of corners, scouted a lot of corners. Nobody's really stuck out in my mind. If you guys see any of these players that stick out, let me know, and I will immediately throw him on our watch list. But that is our scouting so far. Really nothing spectacular. Like I said, our next game going to be against the San Diego Chargers. Let me know who you guys think we should go with at receiver. If you have any other suggestions, also let me know. I don't want this to be too long. Definitely need to end this before we get to 15 minutes. But I think I pretty much covered everything. If I missed anything, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I still hope you guys are enjoying the series. If you are, please go ahead and leave this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy D Lloyd. I'm see y'all next time. Peace.
We just go no, we can't come close, got it for the low, waited for the 6, but it's going slow-mo, yeah, don't go, I just can't come close, I'm looking for the local.